a mutual commitment ensures that we are setting our marriage on a solid rock for which we can build home and invest. And I don't know if some of the things that take away from that commitment. You might actually be married together for a long time, but there's some things that have come in and have taken away from your sense of togetherness and commitment.
Yeah, I think sometimes, like we were saying, the things of foundation. Sometimes some people, I don't know whether that's the case here, but in some cases, when you come together in marriage, maybe there was no formal commitment. You understand? Like, you go into the marriage, or rather you maybe started staying together, and then with time, you became married. Right? That happens a lot in our society, isn't it? And some years ago, we were doing facilitation for couples. And they have been married many years, some of them many years, they have children and all these things. And then we asked them, okay, what are your expectations for this event? And so that they wrote on paper. So we asked them to write on paper so that your expectations may not be known by your spouse. And what surprised me actually was some of those guys that have been married for many years, one of them was expecting an engagement ring. Yeah. Why were they expecting an engagement ring? Because maybe they never got an engagement ring, yeah? But it was more so because the way the relationship had started was, and it's common in this society, I think I can say, was a come-and-stay kind of arrangement. And so now you stayed 10, 15 years, and you're going to baby, all those things are common in our society, isn't it? And so sometimes you start feeling, am I really with him, or am I? Yeah, those things happen, right? I'm sure when it's not you, your people you know are like that. So that lack of unintentional, I think somebody said about intentionality, intentional commitment. I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, really helps us to, make sure there's that commitment. And now when you're adding the spice, you know that this meal is going to be served, isn't it? That's one thing.
So it helps to ensure that your spouse knows, really, man, this is Chihuahua. We are stuck over here. And we found that when you not formalize your marriages, I'll talk to them again, because this is on your part, then your spouse never quite feels secure kabisa. Unavyokuja baadaye, this family dispute of property and all that, the children are disinherited and she's thrown out and all that. And so the sense of, if I formalize my marriage, then I'm basically saying to Kohaba Kabisa Knowledge, and everybody is settled and able to move beyond that. And if you don't, you'll always find that, especially the women, you'll find that bit of insecurity. In fact, there's a story that she told me about some people we know that turned out to be one for a affidavit.
Yeah, so this is somebody we know, like he said. So it happened that one of them got a job outside the country, right? And now they needed to process their travel documents. Okay? Now when they went, how many of us have children, by the way, here? How many have children? I'm assuming many of us, right? How does, you found you with your child, and how would you know that, how would you prove that that's your child? Right? Like if you're here with your child in public and somebody is disputed, you would produce the birth certificate, okay? So this couple went to the embassy, they were trying to get this. And then they processed the kids, they finished, and then they said, okay, hand you. Then they saw They said, okay, so where is the document that proves that this is not just your brother or some guy you collected on the road? It was the lady who had gotten the opportunity. So in one day, there is apparently some process you can follow. In one day, they did the official. In one day. It's something like, between the time the embassy rejected their papers and the time now had to go back and formalize. I'm talking about something that happened just this last month. So those technicalities, because when they were coming from there, they were telling each other, it's a bit to call you a bishop. And then when she told me that, I said, actually, you don't go back to the bishop, you go to court.
And so the next effect of being forced to formalize a marriage was to feel like now we are stuck, now we are here. And they were able to. And so, practical thing I want to do the commitment, commit yourself to your spouse. Formalize it. Amen, the men? The men say, so if you've not, think through it. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I know Pastor Paul has told us, those are some of the things that really simple process, formalize the marriage, and that brings in more security. But you could also be in a formal marriage and still not secure, right?
Yeah.
And what are those things?
Yeah, so of course, especially in our society now, marital unfaithfulness has become like, I think, it's like common, isn't it? And sometimes it's not the whole shebang, as in you're not sexually unfaithful, but maybe you're emotionally unfaithful. Or whatever, you know the good thing about yourself, yeah, you know that WhatsApp is not innocent. you know that communication or that Facebook, whatever, is not innocent. So unfaithfulness, and I say this, so you may think what you're doing is hidden, but God sees, and once still the enemy sees. Yeah, so you're creating spaces in your home where the enemy can come and feel comfortable. And that is what we want to avoid. Yeah, because marriage is a name of God. Yeah.
Communicating our colleagues. There's some things we need to do in terms of turning our commitment to our marriage. The alcoholism, perhaps it's emotional abuse, financial impropriety. We'll be talking about finances shortly. How you deal with things you can't be trusted. So that person feels, where will the passenger? You're not in this marriage. And so there are some things that we'll talk about what you can do that you can do to build that up. Even some things, let me say this, and I'm saying this very carefully, because our economy forces us sometimes to have one spouse working far away from the other one. Now, personally, I would recommend pray about those sorts of things, because they bring some distance and you sort of feel like you're not connected to your spouse and could lead to other things, as we can go to stories of what people have said. Now, for those who are not married yet, don't get into a marriage unless you're convinced that that is right for you. Let me talk to the men especially, because I'm talking from one side. Be convinced. The moment, let me tell you, the moment a guy is convinced about you, hautaanza kumwambia sitakuhusu gani, utakuja kuhusu gani and all that. The guy will do all that is required to get you into his home or house officially. Right? But if there is illegally and all those things, then maybe he's not convinced about you. And I can talk that from my experience, and I believe most men will say that. In fact, stories of wives will say, like, the day I believe this is the woman for my life, 9 months later, you're married. Oh, yes. 9 months. This story of organized relationships are 7 years. There could be, I'm saying this carefully, there could be issues, working, training, someone is away from the country, and so on. But if you're in the same space and you're of age and you intend to get married, but you're just protecting me, maybe you're not convinced about that. So simple to look at.
But I saw someone on Facebook today, just saying, you see the relationship, I cannot be in a relationship with you for 15 years now, saying keep chochote. Me, I'm not a research project.
So take that to us. Do not yet move on. The other second point you want to bring about is what I call financial union. Financial union. So the first one was women, the second is financial union. Whose finances are they? Okay, so you're working. Are they your personal finances? These are those you need to answer, be convinced about. Because I want to propose to you that you rather call them this is family income. I'm talking to the men again, who's not stealing, and I'm the one who's earned it. You are staying at home, taking care of me. So when you're upset, you're upset. And so you tend not to have your finances working for you as a team. And you know, money is powerful. And so it will obviously, what Jesus said, not serve God and right. So that's the sort of power that money can have over your life. And if you're not able to work together and put your money together, then it's very difficult to do things together that will lead to a spiced up marriage. Right? And so some of the things that we see when money doesn't work together.
And this happens a lot in the middle class. People start competing. Now, because we've done quite a bit of this marriage space, basic in a hour. What? Yeah? Hakuna sakikuja hapo nika? Unaweka pale, you know? An increment cannot be this. So you create a situation where you see couples like that, where one couple is rich, one of the couple is a rich person, and the other one is poor. You can be living in the biggest estates in the world in this nation, and one of you is actually poor. Yeah, ukimwambia nipatie sombini anasema sasa uko hivi. They may be driving a big car, they may be doing all these things, but they do not have access or a say to the family finances. Now, obviously, this is a very difficult, especially if you have never started to work together financially. It's not, it's easier said than done. Yeah, because people have different money habits. Now, let me tell you, when we got married, we didn't get married when I was young. That is yeah, we were working or had my own things, right? Then I get married to this handsome guy, and I was, as you heard, I'm an accountant. My own job, so one day I told him that I'm going to buy a shoe. And ladies, you know shoes are? Yeah, shoes are expensive. Yeah, or cheap. Depending on. So, nikasema ile kiatu naenda kununua. Na nikasema bei. Let's just say, I was serious fire.
So, we arranged. That's right. Not so that's not what you wanted. So the point is, if you're putting your finances together and making decisions around them together, then you're most likely going to benefit more and be united. Remove pressures that we men have concerning our sense of ability to provide and so on. Let me ask you men. So you're running your finances when you kusema kila kitu, and then you lose your job or your source of income. What happens? Things change, you become difficult. And you'll find a lot of stories of people who lost their jobs, but every day they leave the house, dress up, and go and sit somewhere with Julikani and job, because they are sensing their respect will go low because of that. And so it helps if you put your money together to be able to feel it's family finances. So right now, I'm the one who is putting it into the pot, but we're making decisions around that together. And now the various ways of doing it, we can tell you ours, we put our finances together and talk through everything broadly, and then, people have cards to use. As long as I know it's within the thing that we decided, we will see one time. But it's in full light of the other, right? And then when it comes to owning properties or making investment decisions, since you are not a wengine, and we end up, how many men have been conned here? You've been gone, but also because when you went against the advice of your wife. Okay. Anyway, let's do it for that again. But when you do that, then you're able to move better.
And by law, actually, apparently I don't know who's a lawyer here, but apparently the law changed someone. And look at how, especially if you come from my community. Lazima mama angeweka pesa yake wapi? Lazima uwe na kitu apparently the law changed now that it needs for also consent. Apparently when that law was put in place, most women thought it's what the man akienda kuuza nyumba, he needs my consent. Lakini sababu akina mama walikuwa na kale kaplot. Akienda kuuza same.
So you're trying to spice your marriage doing certain things. The foundation is not right. So you have situations of having to deliver school fees, lakini the man is trying to buy new rings for the car. To deliver the man is donating if there somebody's somebody's function, somebody's wedding, then at 25,000. So there are things that as you sit here, somebody tries to spice things that you want to pay. These are the issues. What is all this and we've not sorted this out? So what you're saying is try and deal with those issues. Put them right, and it will help you to go to the other things. Short story. I was working in the development world then. Development, the NGOs, a lot of NGOs, also projects funded by USAID. You know how they go in 5-year contracts. But then suddenly in 2019, President Trump cut back funding for Kenya. And so where I was working, we have 5 years to go, but only 3 or 2 go home. That is in 2019 now. 6 months before that, loving wife, Madam, was retrenched for pension working. And then, previously it had happened to me before, and that's what I'm saying, the issue of when you lose your job and your spouse are together, because on another cycle, previously, like 5 years back, I had to stay like a year and a half without work. I started doing consulting, but it was not as flowing as a regular income. That time, I felt okay because we were on family income, right? So, come 2019, both of us are out of work, and then COVID hits, as in Vaticani. And if we had not put our heads together, then we would not have survived through that period. Okay? When we go to the point of we are tracking our expenses, not everything to be but money or parking. We are more on a track so as to know how to manage the finances. But what I'm saying is for me, which is the challenge we have as men, we feel like we've been metered because we're not now able to to provide in that way. So I'm saying just working out your help. So here's what you're saying, the practical things you can do on that area of financial union.
I think one of the things is lazima unajua kuna wenye watu sema nimejiita kapitani. Yes. Now you need to call the family to a meeting. The two of you. Mkae chini, mseme wewe iko ngapi? Na wewe iko ngapi? So that you agree that this is the family income. What we have seen is that when couples don't do that, and we have seen some very sad stories, is the family looks goalless. Yeah? Because nobody really knows how much money comes into this. Hata serikali inajua, hata kama ni Eurobond, inajua how much it is there. Yeah. You two of you, you know how much we have. And we find that your progress in life, because you're not agreeing, is curtailed. So I would recommend mujite kapitani and agree. As much as it's practicable, try and own things jointly. I mean, not to say the many legal issues that are there because of this particular aspect. When husband and wife, there are many, anyway, lawyers can advise us, but from our own consultation of lawyers, is if the property is not owned jointly, and one of you goes, there are many stories that come around that. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not comment, yeah? There are many disclosures. Let's not give the enemy, we forget, the devil is also sin. Hiyo kabisa umeficha, ukaenda kununua kabrot, somewhere huko Kitengela. The enemy is also sin. Let's not give the devil foothold. And unajua anachukuanga, not a foothold, but they do. Yeah.
So it's possible to come to a place like this, spice things up, balance, nice, and so on. Then go back to a situation where we are feeling either oppressed or without the sense of ownership and so on. And we then live a life where marriage pretends to, the kind of sort of things we hear in FM stations about the view of marriages. Because perhaps those values are so real, we are not engaging in them, so we put them on the side and just go on as though life is nice for the show, for the selfies, for the posting, but really we are hurting inside. And so we need to find a way to bring our financial issues together and work as a team, family finances. The third thing we want to talk about is praying and spending time together. Mr. King ameuliza leo, do we really know each other? And that he was asking for this, but as a couple, do you really know each other? And you will find, there are one who utambuule ndio wife ya ule, and you're like, oh, actually I never seen them together. I didn't know that's the right day. Because they never spend time together. They don't see. Now, if you can imagine, everybody is there. So it's possible to actually give us 2 islands in the same house and to go out there and have nothing to do with each other. And then we want to spice that. So, what I'm trying to make is you really have to come to the point where you know each other. And one of the things that we have found that is powerful is what Matthew chapter 18 and verse 19 to 20 says.
Again, I tell you that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them when my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, I am with them.
A couple has the greatest potential for oneness and agreement before God. as husband and wife. I'm going to ask a question that I do not want you to lift up your hands. How many couples pray together? Now, I'm not talking of the family altar, tunaita watu, tunaomba pamoja as a family, or in a fellowship, or just the two of you, husband and wife. How many pray together? Now, we have found that even pastors, you don't find time. It's difficult to pray with our wives for some reason. I think it's just that whole aspect of the potential it has to bring you together and the power that God unleashes through it that I think the enemy tries to make challenges. Mnakosana, mnafanya nini, so we're going to pray together. Right?
We always pray together, especially when she's driving. Guy Davia!
And I want to put it out to you and say, man, I think it's your responsibility in your role as priests of the home to spearhead that. And yet you find it's the women who are always leading there, and so on. So practical things to do, men. Start praying with your wife. One on one. Today, I'm talking about your time now. But in the course of your, in a week or so, ensure that you're sitting down together to pray. It brings you together. It causes you to have that ongoing communication. I'm talking about issues that are around you. And so, unafunguliana roho. Sometimes I will hear her pray about something. I'm like, oh, that's how she views something. Ama, kumbe, mbaya hivi. Ama kumbe anaona vile. And then you're able to raise issues that you can talk about later and sort of agree on, yes, let's pray about this. Going together with your finances, okay, I think we need to buy a cow, let's pray about buying a new cow. And so it gets you praying together with your wife. Please do that. And you will see changes in just how we're able to spend time together. Now, we talked about those who are far away from each other. And you need to find a way to spend time together. And could be in things. Have at least one or two things that you do together. Then you are ready to. This thing of coffee dates, dating, date nights and so on, they are good. Please do them. But don't wait for a date night. You can actually have a date night in your house every evening. Before Monday mambo hiyo ingine. Or precursor to mambo hiyo ingine. Because it leads to more better intimacy. Your sex life improves when you get to talk to each other and open your hearts to each other. Okay? And so find things to do together. Could even be, here's what we found for some couples. We try and make some things almost mandatory. It's a school function, it's a closing day for our children. Let's make an attempt to go together. Right? We'll get reports of it. But even in men, we're spending time together somehow. Right? Wait, it's your time this time. And I'm saying this, understanding that schedules are difficult. Yes, it's a bare minimum for parental attention. That is important. But what I'm saying is try to find time together, doing things. Watching something together. Going for walks together. We have friends who, when the economy was very bad, walikuwa wanatembea kwenda kukagua ile express imefika wapi sasa. So you have to just be creative. It doesn't have to cost anything. It just has to be the commitment to want to spend time with each other. Right? Those who are dating, sometimes you have to ask yourself, you want to spend time with your business. What has changed? Ukawa ni mmoja, unazoeana. Hiyo kuzoeana. Sasa watu kuzoeana to be intentional. So you are doing this. Yeah. And yet it's part of the thing that we need to engage with one another. Alright? So pray with each other. Those who are not married, practical thing to do, marry your friend. Start from a place of friendship. Because that's what helps you to go through. What's friendship? But it's going to be together. We have something to work with. That helps to push us through difficult things. Okay? So that's point number 3. So it's commitment to the marriage, conviction for it, showing it. Then there is a financial union, bringing your things together. And then there is praying and spending time together. Those surprises, those things that you want to do for each other, those are the things that we can do to stress them. And then finally, our 4th point is being kind and considerate.
So the idea of be kind to one another. Actually, they say that people are meanest to the people who are closest to them. As in, if you found some of us at the office, I'm so thankful, you're so kind. At home, they don't know that person. Yeah? In the book of, I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it says, love is kind. When was the last time you were kind, patient, does not keep a record of wrongs with that person next to you? I'm sure most of you have heard of the personalities. I usually make fun of, I'm not a melancholic, so I make fun of the melancholics because I usually say, wakikasirika, hiyo shida wanairudishana, wanaitoa, wanaiosha, alafu wanairudisha. So they can do it, and most of people are like that. That's kukosewa, the year 2 of marriage, this is 20 years. Unaitoanga, unaiosha. Love does not keep up. This is not Christian. Love is? Yes. So the first, when we love one another, is that person. Forgive one and each other. But that one, you know, it's not preacher who will say, go home and love your wife. No, my wife is my enemy. The Bible says, love your enemy.
Getting into the habit of using you don't want to teach our children the magic words. Use them with your spouse. Every time. So when something comes to the table, you say what? Thank you. You want something and you say? Please. And you do something wrong, you say? I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. So you have to be good to each other. And it's all these things are not out of the emotion, it's actually out of the will. It's not about a decision you make. I am going to be polite to my wife. Even the way you call them. Wait, morning. Especially whenever we're in public, or let me say, if you're when you go to church, I know most women don't like the issue of going to church for Christmas for some reason. Because men tend to be very sound in the nyumba. So they tend to begin to do things that are trying to show that people come. But in those settings, ensure that you use polite and kind words to your spouse and be good to each other. To say a cousin. Let me say this carefully. Maybe she should talk about it then. Because it's also a lesson for me. Right? That you know, sometimes we tend to get into the house and for us men, we feel like, okay, everybody here, is still. And so she's the one who's trying to do this, help the kids with that, and maybe she's very much. Sitting on a laptop. There's a day last, we actually, one of the other things that we're coming to closing finally is some of the things that we have to do. So in a marriage group, we've been meeting since we got married for the last 15 years. So we meet once a month on the third Sunday of the month. And so once we ask our children to tell us what do your parents do, one of them, Daddy, when I find out laptop, Daddy, when I finish bigger signal, because that's what they see us do, and our houses also see us do that. And so the challenge we have is that we walk into the house, we've had a long day, we have worked, and then the same want to catch up with media, and then we get into that 8, 10:30, 11, that's it. We never get to spend time with each other or be considerate of other people. We tend to be on our phones. So we are saying, if we want to have marriages that are on a solid foundation, that we can spice, then we need to be careful about what we do with each other in our homes and in other places that we are in. Practical thing to do in terms of being kind of considerate. Of course, we say hi and all that. Say good morning to your spouse every morning. Wake up in the morning, someone do good morning. Kuna kufanya hivyo, sasa sio bragging time. Okay? Because we find, yes, you can see our the oldest married couple does that similar time. Still, or we treat each other like, okay, something for something, we can't talk about it, so we are quiet, we do not talk to each other for weeks. I can't comprehend. What we found very sad is a simple saying, good morning to your spouse. I'm a Luna Fura. You might be tempted not to have babe or sweet or honey, but just good morning here is okay. Say good morning to your spouse every morning. And let it be not just one spouse who always says good morning, but keep saying that, because it breaks whatever was there before that stops you to go into open communication, isn't it? Amado, we say, when you want to, let me ask you that. When you want to, you say get sex or to have sex with your wife, now vitu ziko nini, what do you do? Vitu ziko nini? Ziko hivyo. What do you do? You come and take it. What else? The old ones are, you're not talking to each other. Or you are not telling each other. Are we? How many are doing? We ask this in the men's meeting. If you're sorry, you have to give us a response.
Kuna dalili fulani lazima atakuwa.
sasa hiyo hapo ndani. Sasa hiyo amebaki downstairs ama in the other room working on a laptop.
Ukiingia tu lazima atajua.
Atakosana. The same aliwajana. Kuna mtu anasema tuweni wajuzi. The thing is, by talking, isn't it? Yeah. And then good morning every morning in the house. Because when you tell somebody good morning, then they will respond. There's always one person who needs to initiate the process of reconciliation, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. Until things are flowing smoothly and we're able to build it up to the point where you can go back again. So we say 4 things. We say that you need to be committed, have a conviction to that commitment. You need to work as a team in your finances. You need to pray together, spend time together, and then you need to be kind and considerate. In the way you treat each other, be kind and considerate. Small things. Like, I used to find that maybe Sunday afternoon you come in another hour or so. Then my wife will come and take out the blanket and cover it. What I noticed is that our children do the same. When one of them sleeps on the sofa, or even once they will come and cover you with a massive blanket. They're being kind, they're considerate. So small things that make you appreciate yourself. So things that you took a money, you don't like this stuff or something, they prepare that for you, isn't it? You know your wife has come back home, she's tired today, well, give her a massage. Wait, a massage, yeah. No strings attached. No strings, yes, there's no strings attached to massage. Sometimes the best thing to do is when the cycle is on their periods. Yeah. So, you don't agree with me? Because then there's no string attached. So try that one. Because then you're able to show the other person that you're being kind, you're being considerate for themselves. So find the things that make your spouse excited or happy. They don't have to be expensive, by the way, but those simple gestures of love and it's how to keep you with a cake. What else? Who can tell us a simple thing that they have done or they do? That spans on themselves. Yes, sir. Give her a call during the day. Yeah. Yeah. All right. She had done that. Yes. Okay. So.
Well, I was saying, as much as it's important to say good morning,
right?
It's also important to say good night.
Very important. Excellent.
Saying last questions to good night.
Good night. So if you have, and I'm all finished now, so you can have any questions.
I dress her well.
Oh, you dress her well. Unamalisha nguo, unamalisha pia. Yeah, like that. Or you're going somewhere for a function like this one, another something. So, if you have issues, here's some things you can do to ensure but remember, in the space of family finances, unless so in the comfort of family, but really on the finances, try and bring them to the point where I know. Okay, so we have issues. One is need to education. Missional marriage. But it depends on the personalities. We need to admit the issue. Look, we are living beyond our means. We need to talk about how we trim down and live in an educated basis. This. Look, where we are going to buy. You need to have conversations. So first is to admit the issue.
Then sometimes you may find the two of you cannot quite discuss the issue. Hiyo topic ukitoa kwa meza itagonga. Yeah? Get help from your other people who you see are succeeding in that area. Get help from whether it's family members or church members. Sometimes even parents can actually help you get out of a hole. Yeah? Of course, pastors are there. Of course, professional counselors are there. What I think is common these days, especially with the millennials, the Gen Zs, they believe so much in psychology. That's good, but there are people here within us who can help you. You're not able to talk about money. Go. You don't need a therapist for everything. Yeah.
Because if you're not a couple, you've seen how they do their things. Interact and find out how to do this. Just hearing other people saying about what they do helps you to think about how we can work practically in a situation. Right? So it's good to have older couples where going to events like this ones and conferences where you get to delve into those issues helps. Do this here, and Mr. Kilu pale anawaita December to educate. Make room for that. That will help you too. And especially because if we don't do those things now, when we get to the ages of our Kilu, you notice how many parents separate. Because whatever tied them was the issue of raising the children and so on. When they get that point, there's no friendship, there's little, and so you find people going there. Let's stop there. Let's ask for questions. If you have a question, just put up your hand, and then let's see if we can interact over that. Okay?